We meet thousands of people throughout our lives, and of these thousands of people, a few of them are bound to be deaf or hard of hearing. This is a situation that many hearing people are unprepared to face, being as there is a high level of uneducation in the hearing people of deaf culture and ASL. ASL stands for American Sign Language. I use the term American Sign Language because there are other languages such as Spanish that use their own version of sign language. So today I'd like to help break the communication barriers between hearing and non-hearing people by teaching all of you some of the basic signs for communication with a deaf person, such as the ASL alphabet, the basic question words, and a few other basic words that will likely come up in your conversation. So we're going to start with the alphabet. First comes the letter A. You want to make a fist and stick your thumb up to the side. And then as the letter B, stick your 4 fingers up and your thumb crosses the middle. C is really easy. You just make the shape of the letter C with your hand. And then D, you're going to put these 3 fingers down with your thumb and your index finger up, so you kind of make the shape of the letter D with your hand. E can be done 2 different ways. It can be done spread out like I have it here, or squished together more like a fist. F is the symbol that quite a few hearing people consider to be the sign for okay, which isn't actually how deaf people sign okay. G looks like this. It looks just like you're sticking your index finger out, but you're actually sticking your thumb out straight along the bottom. And then for H, you just add your middle finger, so it still looks like that. I is really basic. You just want to put up your pinky finger and hold that in the air. And then for J, you're going to use this sign to make a swoop down below, so it kind of like you're drawing the letter J, like that. K can be done like this, where you stick up your pointer and your index finger, and you put your thumb in between. Or it can be done with your middle finger sticking straight out, and your thumb is still in between. L is another really easy, commonly recognized symbol. You just open your hands in the shape of an L. M, you're going to put your thumb underneath the first 3 fingers of your hand and leave it so it's sticking out a little bit. And then with N, you do the same thing, but only under the first 2 fingers. O is like the letter C. You're just going to make the shape of an O with your hand. And then P is just like the letter K, but upside down. And the same goes for Q with the letter G. So it still looks like that, but you're pointing it downward. R, you're going to cross your index finger over top of your middle finger. And S, you're going to make a fist with your thumb wrapping over top of your fingers. This is a really easy letter to confuse with A and E because they're all in the shape of a fist. So you just have to remember thumb placement. A, E, S. T is just like the M and the N, but the thumb only goes underneath the first finger. U, you just want to put up your index and your middle finger. And when teaching you, many deaf people will tell you that you can kind of see the shape of a U in between the fingers. And then for V, you just open those 2 and make the letter V. W, you want to put up your next finger down and make the shape of the letter W. X is kind of confusing. It is kind of like a pirate hook when you think about it. So you're going to hold out your index finger and curve it, kind of like the letter R, which is really confusing to some people. And then there's the letter Y. You're going to stick out your thumb and your pinky finger and just hold it like that. And then Z, you just want to draw the letter Z with your index finger. So that is the alphabet. That comes in really handy when you don't know how to sign a particular word or you're trying to ask someone how to sign it. You can just finger spell the word. So next I'm going to teach you the basic question words. This is who, how, where, what, when, and why. Who, you're going to take your thumb and put it up against just underneath your mouth and then wag your index finger in front of your mouth. What is really, really simple. It's very easy to recognize or just kind of infer what you're trying to say. You just put your hands at about your waist and you kind of move them back and forth. So like, what's going on? Where, you're going to stick your index finger up in the air and shake it back and forth. This is where. When, you're going to take the index finger of your non-dominant hand and stick it straight in the air, and then your index finger of your dominant hand and move around it in a circle. This is kind of like a clock. This is a really good way to remember how to sign when. If you're trying to ask why, you're going to take your middle finger and put it up by your head and then shake it up and down, and all your other fingers are just going to be straight. And then how, you're going to take your hands and make them into 2 letter A's, and then put them together in front of you, and then shake your dominant hand a little bit. So this is, for example, like asking, how are you? You would say, how are you? So it's pretty simple. Then there are a few other words that come up in conversation a lot that I'd like to show you, such as thank you. You take your hand, put it up to your mouth, and just point it at who you're talking to. For example, if you're talking to a large group of people, you're going to use both hands and say thank you to everyone. This is really easy to confuse with good. Good, you do the same hand gesture as thank you, but you land your hand on the palm of your other hand. You can say please, which you take your flat hand and move it in a circle on your chest. And this is also very similar to another sign. Sorry is taking a fist and moving it on your chest. Saying you're welcome, you take your hand and you kind of push it towards that person like you're, and then welcome, you go around your waist like that. So you're welcome. Yes and no. Yes, you take your hand in either the A or the S formation and you nod it up and down. And no, you're going to take your first 2 fingers and put them together and then snap it close with your thumb. And then after learning all of this, it's also very important to realize that your body and your face help display what you're saying to whoever you're talking to. So if you're asking a yes or no question, you want to push your eyebrows up, yes or no. And if you're asking a question with a more detailed ending, you're going to put your eyebrows down. And then you can use, like if you're saying no, you can use this sign in many different ways, even though it's only one sign. You can use it to say no, solid and strong, or you can say no, 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 no. It's something where you have one sign, but you can use it in a lot of different ways to display your emotions. So after learning the American Sign Language alphabet, question words, and some of the other basic words, hopefully you will be able to break the conversation barrier between the hearing and the non-hearing people. Thank you.